Hello, my beautiful black cats. Oh, today has been lively. This whole entire adventure of building and creating this 2025 has been walking in faith, one step after another. I am here in Miami. I am in Brickell specifically, and I am ready to go. Now, this has been a journey. I've been really rebuilding myself and just testing this concept of the black cat. What I envisioned the black cat being in 2024 versus the stepping into my power, owning my energy, owning my power, and just really embracing everything that I have to offer to this world and just letting it shine without any I'm not setting any limitations on it. Like, let's go. Black Cat is so much different now. Black Cat just reinvented and just from a dark place into like a bursting light. So let's dive into it because you saw the title. You saw what I named this hair flip. If you're watching the, virtual, visual podcast. I'm dating again. I have decided that I'm going to date again. Ooh, it felt so weird to let that be known, to announce that, to say, let's get out of, the dark era. We did the healing era. I'm gonna still, always build on personal growth and reflection, but that dark era of, just heartbreak, it's gone. It's over. We did it, I did the work. And I have decided that dating this time around is different. It's a different way. And this is why I'm going to title this The Black Cat New Dating Rules. Because if you pull out any of my old books or old podcasts, just let that go. I know that there's a grain of truth in everything, and I'm sure that they still have a lot of value in different ways. But I really want to hone in on what I say today because this is not previous Air or Black Cat or 2024 or even, you know, all of the years before. This is principle and a huge concept. If you didn't see the last episode, I'm rewind, pause, come back later of principle over precedent. I'm someone that today, the values I'm inputting, who I decide to be, my thoughts, my actions today matter more than the past. Like, if you didn't like something about yourself in the past, today is the day you get to change it. And this whole phoenix of black cat and burned ashes and seeing God remove everything from me in 2024 and literally just in so much despair because I'm why? Why did this all happen? Just letting that go and let it wash over. Wow. There's so much space in the bright, energetic, beautiful, glorious light here. So here's the new dating rules. Here's the new status. I'm back out there. I'm not really out there. I'm going to be honest with you. I am open now. I'm ready to receive the beautiful energy that comes from my partner, comes from my husband. I wrote my list of what I want. And if, it doesn't match, it doesn't match. That's all good. That's rule number one is I know based off of the relationships I've had in the past and where I want to go moving forward, the type of man that is going to match that energy. And I've got this list, and this list is not necessarily, he has to make, hundreds of thousands of dollars or millionaire or billionaire. It's not, XYZ. It's not the Miami girl list, right? It's really something as simple as does he actually value me for who I am? Like, how does he treat me? How do I feel when he's around? Do I feel like, I'm in constant anxiety because this person hasn't dealt with their issues of the past? Do I feel safe? Like, it's a lot of, maybe you call it mature thinking, but it's about integrity. Like, my list, if you really look down of my new dating rules, it's really based in integrity and not necessarily what's on paper. Because something that I learned in 2024 is somebody can look fantastic on the outside, somebody can look fantastic on paper, right? They could have all the money in the bank or be living the life or have, all these social connections and be absolutely broken on the inside. And I'm not even speaking about men here. I'm speaking about like women too. Like last year was the hardest, like second hardest year of my life outside of being trafficked. Like 100%. That was over 15 years ago. A whole different story. If you want to pick up on that story, go to Amazon. My book, Model Stop Traffic, will teach you all about that one. But this particular year, 2024, was so tremendously difficult, and I had to smile. It was like literally, and excuse my language, it was like, "Bitch, smile and go." Like, it felt so hard to get out of bed because of just the mess of 2024, and all that aside, all that washed over, because that's not me right now. Like, I'm good, I'm so good, yes. All of that aside, like, it is almost like I can't unsee it now. Like, I look at people and I think about, what do they actually stand for? Who are they? Are they chasing external validation? Are they chasing money? Are they chasing girls or boys? Like, are they idolizing something? Like, this was in Bible study last night, and I'm gonna bring Christ into it for a moment of like, what are you idolizing? Are you idolizing a perception of how, you should be perceived? Like, how you want people to see you? Or are you truly just investing in your personal growth and your relationship with the divine or the creator or God or Jesus, like, whatever you want to like call it, right? It's all the same stuff. We're gonna be real. And that is my list. Like my dating rules, as far as like going back out there, again, not really going out there, but like it's really integrity based this go around. It's not what you look like. It's like, how do I feel around you? And I'm not gonna lie, there's a couple of things on there, like, Cillian Murphy is my man. Like, I love that look. But, like, wrong guys, like, if he comes up, he looks a little bit more like Ryan or, even Ryan Reynolds, like, I'm not gonna, push that aside either. Like, nonetheless, it wasn't really based on, like, looks or even, career or money and I think that came from safety. If I'm being authentic in the past, I think I felt like I would feel more safe if I was with a man that, held a certain title or had a certain number in his bank account or, XYZ. But at the end of the day, like, that's not really the case. Like, they can treat you just as terrible. They can hurt you just as much, and maybe even worse. So, just really reevaluating my own moral compass for this list was important. And that started with inner work. That didn't start with like, just listening to a podcast. Like I literally had to sit with myself. And that's kind of like the precursor to all of this that I'm about to share is I had to lean in to the pain. Like, I did not avoid the pain, and it was excruciating. Like, it literally felt like at times I was in complete isolation. It felt like a burning sensation. I didn't sleep. I cried. It was so mentally, emotionally, and spiritually exhausting. I thought I would die. And I'm not being like dramatic for the dramatic spaces. Like, it physically hurt to go through that. And that's because I looked in the mirror and I said, Air, what's your problem? Seriously, like, what is your problem? What is so fundamentally needing attention in you that you're allowing these things to happen? Because it's not them. And that's like hard. As women, we want to be like, he just did all these terrible things, or they just did all these terrible. No, no, no. You allowed this. You invited this. You created this. What in you needs to be altered? What in you needs to be fixed? So I leaned into that. I didn't go sleep around. I didn't party. I quit anything that was like not good for my body. Like, I just cold turkeyed it. And that was excruciating. And the people that stayed close to me during that time and like witnessed it and watched it, and at times maybe even carried me because I didn't know how to like move forward, like get out of bed, like try again. Like those people, they're my living testaments. And they're like my tribe. And it was amazing because instead of saying, Air, like, let's go out, we can forget about this and we could be happy. Like, they were like, no, girl, lean right into it. Like, every single time they picked up my calls. And I was just like, what is it about me that does this? Like, what do you think? Like, give me some feedback, right? Be my friend. Be my true, genuine friend. And it was beautiful. And, hindsight 2020, not beautiful going through it. It was rough. But nonetheless, I really got to see some of those parts of me. And the biggest thing that I want to say, like dating rules, again, precursor is I had to forgive a lot. And I'm not talking about other people. Like, of course, that comes along the journey, and that's kind of a side effect. But I really had to forgive myself for every single time I loved somebody more than me. Every single time I chose somebody and their well being, their safety, their mental health, their emotions over loving me. And every single time I disrespected myself because I let something slide, or I tolerated something, or I, just said, okay, like we'll move forward and, I'll just take all these cuts, all these stabs, all these like, literally like bullet wounds. And with that, like the forgiveness was hard because I had to be like, what in you makes you think that you're not worthy? What in you makes you think you're not powerful? And diving deep into all those things is shadow work. And that is part of the Black Cat journey. And I signed up for this. Again, I created this because I allowed this experience to come into my life. And, I'm owning my mistakes. I'm straight up owning everything that I did precursor to this moment that got me here, and the relationships that I'm in, and the status I'm in the whatever environment that I have created. I'm owning it. And I'm telling people, don't take my mistakes from me. Like, these are my mistakes that I made. And look, I went and I apologized to who I needed to apologize to. I went and forgave who I needed to forgive. And some of them were hard. Like, I literally had to forgive, circa legal battle person in the street a few weeks ago and be like, all is forgiven under my rule and under the Lord's rule. Like, what you did was wrong. It was so fucking wrong, but it's forgiven. And I don't want anything to do with you moving forward, but I'm not holding on to that. And that's like part of the release. That's like the really powerful thing of like being able to rise up again is being able to do that. So that was a tangent. Bear with me. It was important though, because these new rules require a new you, like a brand new principle. These are just principles, the attitudes, the thoughts, and the actions that you do today that gets you to where you want to go. For instance, I'm somebody that I value loyalty. I value loyalty more than I do love. And it's quite ironic because that tends to be more of a masculine thing versus I'm super feminine, but I need somebody, I require, I expect somebody to be loyal. Like, you don't even have to necessarily like me or love me. And this doesn't go for my partner per se, but like anything I engage with, like if we are in it together and we've done this and we're like here, give me some loyalty and like let me know that I don't have to worry about what goes on when I'm not. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to stress about it because you are a loyal person and I give that loyalty. Reason I expect it so much is because I've given it. And I am a diehard. And it's gotten me in trouble sometimes, but that diehard energy I require. And a healthy masculine, my man, like my husband, my man, my partner, that's not going to even be something I have to even ask. It's going to be something that he makes so abundantly clear that it doesn't even become a question. That is, for me, like one of the strongest dating rules that I have stepping back in because baby girl doesn't necessarily want to step back in. She's not going to be on dating apps. Like, I'm not on them. Sorry, guys. Not going to find me there. I am not making myself super accessible because I know that my man, he's coming for me. Like, he's been working on himself, creating the right stage, the right platform to where, like, I don't need to be available to the masses. It's just him. All right? I'm exclusive. I'm divine. Like, I don't need to be massively available. Like, this is not an all inclusive. This is an exclusive VIP experience. So, yes, that is Black Cat, like 100%. So, with that, dating rule number one, I'm not going to be on the dating apps. My energy is going to be turned back into me. I'm working on my businesses. I'm working on my foundation. I'm working on my health. I am not focused on giving out my energy to these other things. No, I'm good. So, with that, next rule one and done. Like, you get one opportunity to basically be like, show me who you are. This is such an important role because in the past, I've forgiven and forgiven, and it's almost come out like people pleasing or maybe again not loving myself fully because when somebody's showing you who they are, and this is something I should have learned like a long time ago. Like I remember somebody that was abundantly in my life like 5 years ago, and they had this as a mantra. And I should have listened more to this person. But when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. And maybe they're broken. Maybe they have addictions. Maybe, they're not, fully healed from the past. Maybe they just don't care. Like, it doesn't matter. But when somebody shows you who they are, believe them. Like, my light and my resilience, my power comes from who I am, not my external circumstances. Like, did I go on quite a journey this last year? 100%. But that wasn't who I was. And the people that actually saw my value, my intrinsic essence, they're here still. And they reminded me along the way. It was so beautiful. Era, that's not you. This is what's going around you. We know you. We see you. We literally see you for who you are. You are incredible. We value you for that. Like, you are literally the most brave person we've ever met. And I'm like, when you have all this darkness around you, all this murk, all this uncertainty, and you're just like, what is going on? And you're afraid, you lose track of that. But it's gorgeous when you're like, no, this is just a chapter. It's not who I am. Like, who I am is so much more powerful. And this came up recently and came up this week. I was at dinner, like a business dinner with a couple of, successful entrepreneurs, or one successful entrepreneur and one corporate America successful person. And literally they walked away and they were like, wow, that was probably the most profound conversation I've had with a woman in my entire life. And it's not that I was doing anything other than giving them grace for letting go of their past and inviting them into a better future. Because baby girl works with a lot of people. And if you want to work with me coaching, like, or, consulting one to one, whatever you want to call it, make it sound nice, is I work with a lot of broken men that they don't like broken, like, but if they're being real, if they're being authentic, if they're being like, look, I want to change and they're ready to step into that, like, I'm able to work with you to be like, hey, here's the moments, here's the things that are really holding you back. Because I see these, but this isn't who you are. This is actually who you are. And I'd like to invite you to enter into that. And I'm not saying it's easy. Remember, baby girl had to dive straight into the pain, but it's doable. And the rewards of real freedom, true freedom from your addictions, from the external validations, from the pressure of society to be successful, from the bank account, the real, genuine freedom that comes with that, it's a chef's kiss. It is beautiful, gorgeous. Okay. And then I work with women. I work with women, particularly that have been domestically assaulted or human trafficking survivors or anxious attachment, avoidant attachment, the ones that have been hurt and burned and just, feet to the fire, and they don't get it because they have so much love and abundance and they want to be this beautiful wife or a beautiful partner, whatever. Like, I work with those two people. Those two people are my quote unquote avatars. Those are the ones I love, like, to help and serve. And I know they need me. That's like a beautiful part. It's like, I know they need me. What I have to offer is so valuable. And I see it every single day. So now is the time. And dating is just kind of in that realm. Again, I'm stepping back out here. I'm accepting, whatever is just for me, like my perfect package. I'm not just gonna be like, hey, anybody, let's go. No, like, I'm very particular. I got this list. And if you don't match it, that's okay. I'd love to be your friend. I'd love to, coach you. I'd love to be, somebody along your journey, but super particular. And that dating rule is gonna protect me. And I'm not scared to be alone. I don't care. Like, just because I'm saying that I'm dating again doesn't mean that, I'm accepting all applications, right? Like, this interview process is strategically difficult. But my heart, I'm allowing it to be open again. And that's so difficult because I really thought that I had found my person. I thought that I had found my true soulmate. Like, I was so in love. It was just, I was good. Like, I was done. Like, I was like, yes. But looking back, I'm like, you know what? I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the way this happened because I needed some work. They definitely, needed some work. We needed some work, and that's okay. I release it all as forgiven. And I know that I don't, oh, this is difficult. This is a limiting belief. I'm being super authentic here. I know I'm struggling with that concept of love, true love, authentic love. And if I let myself just go completely cold and give up, then none of it was worth it. And that's not who I am. I'm not somebody that is weak. I'm not someone that gives up. I'm not someone that's, when things look dark, I run. I'm not a runner. I am a fighter and I fight for love. I believe it no matter what. There are great men out there. I have met so many amazing men over the last few months. And you know, I've been patient with myself. And some of them were some lookers, some of them made some, great, whatever. And like, but mostly like some really good guys, like genuinely beautiful on the inside and out. And that's on my list, by the way. Like, and I literally just had to say, look, the doors are closed right now. I'm healing. I'm working on myself. I'm becoming a better person. I'm waking up every single day and I'm becoming a better person. Even if the doors seem like they're shut, even if I'm not finding windows, even if it's another job application or it's another business adventure, it's another networking event, it's another, you know, figuring it out type of day, right? I'm determined. And that's the gorgeous part about it is I'm working so hard to be a better person, not just for me and my relationship with God and the universe and other people. I'm doing it for Him too. I'm doing it for that moment that I am standing at the altar and I'm like, look, I'm so glad I didn't give up. I'm so glad I tried again, right? Because so many people could have been like, just stop. And a lot of people do that. A lot of people close off their hearts and they say that they're not good for relationships or it's not possible or, all these stupid limiting beliefs. Like there's no more good guys out there. Baby girls, if you need a laundry list of good guys, I've got like 40 good guys I've met over the last couple of months. They're ready. They're not for me. They're not mine. And that's good. I'm okay with that. Mine is being perfectly packaged, presented to me, hand delivered, to the right address right here. And I love that. I'm so grateful for that. But don't let those limiting beliefs stop you. That's the next dating rule. Get out of here. Get back into here. Even if it's dark, even if it's empty. I wish sometimes, this is like my, thinking process, my meditation thoughts. I wish sometimes that, and let me preface this, I'm a gorgeous woman. And I'm very, fortunate to say that I love how I look. And I also am grateful for the people that have made me, question that because of their own brokenness or their own, standards of XYZ, whether it comes from modeling or men or whatever. I love the way I look. I want to change my face. I want to change a fucking thing. And here's the thing. Sometimes I wish that people could see the soul instead of the shell. Because if I showed you the soul, you'd see where I was shot. You would see where I was stabbed. You would see all of the broken fragments I've had to literally stitch back together from my heart. I've literally had to present it and go rebuild it and create new and ask for forgiveness from, myself and from the Lord and all of like the little things, all the little marks, all the times that someone broke or used or lied or abandoned. And how I went, I put it all back together because there's scars all over and you would never know because it's such a pretty shell. And my next dating rule, and this is the one I'm going to leave you with. This is my favorite